Greetings, loved ones. I hope you are having a fantastic Saturday. I am getting ready to go and help send off a veteran to his final resting place. But before I leave out to do that, I wanted to read something and express something that, well, someone referred to last night when I was talking with them in conversation. All right? We find ourselves in Matthew 25. It is called the final judgment. Jesus said in verse 31, "But when the Son of Man comes in his glory, and all the angels with him, then he will sit upon his glorious throne. All the nations will be gathered in his presence, and he will separate the people as a shepherd separates the sheep from the goats. He will place the sheep at his right hand and the goats at his left." Now, you might be wondering, goats and sheep? Well, goats are destructive, guys. Goats are very destructive. Sheep, not so much. They're pretty well gentle types of creatures. All right? Verse 34, "Then the king will say to those on his right, 'Come, who are blessed by my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the creation of the world.'" That means from the very beginning of time, when God put the stars in the heavens and all the planets in the sky, including us guys. Verse 35, "For I was hungry, and you fed me. I was thirsty, and you gave me a drink. I was a stranger, and you invited me into your home." Now, let's pause there for a second. Believe it or not, Christ actually did this while he was still alive, and not just at the final judgment, guys. Strangers didn't even know him. He knew them, but they didn't know him, and they invited him into his house, and sometimes he would tell them, "Look, I'm coming to your house for dinner tonight. You're the guest of honor. I mean, you're the host of honor, right?" So, keep that in mind. "When I was naked, and you gave me clothing. I was sick, and you cared for me. I was in prison, and you visited me." Then these righteous ones will reply, "Lord, when did we ever see you hungry and feed you, or thirsty and give you something to drink, or a stranger and show you hospitality, or naked and give you clothing? When did we ever see you sick or in prison and visit you?" I mean, that's a great question. It really is. Then the king will say, "I tell you the truth, when you did it to one of the least of these, my brothers and sisters, you are doing it to me." So guys, we're seeing a lot of people going out nowadays and putting cameras in faces of the homeless and the deprived, and thinking that we're actually benefiting them. We think that we're actually doing good deeds. In all honesty, all we're doing is making a mockery of what Christ said right here. So, guys, when it comes to salvation, Christ didn't say, reach out and help those who have what they need. Help those who are not in a bad way. He didn't say that, guys. In fact, he rebuked those who thought that they knew more than him or better than him. But those who were seeking help, those who were earnestly at the bottom of their wits, were getting more help than anybody else. Because that's who he came for here, guys. He didn't come for the well-off and the I don't need anything type people. He came for those who were seeking what was going to be everlasting. A hope, a peace. You know, they were struggling enough here. They want the ability to go on into the next life without the remains of the shambles of this life, guys. You know, when you're working, let's say a farmer does not get to rest until after the harvest is complete. They will struggle day in and day out just to keep their plants going. Guys, our Father in heaven is no different. He searches out the weakest plant and nurtures them so that they can become strong in their faith, in their walk, and their growth. So that when they're called to be done with their time, everything that they've done for the kingdom will be recognized, honored, and even exemplified, guys. So, when we help out those who truly need it, without being a chauvinistic, without being chauvinistic about it, and look at me, I'm getting all this attention. You're getting the reward that you're getting by doing that. But by helping out those that most of society would turn their backs on, most of society would frown upon, then we are giving those who seek hope that chance to have hope. All right? Now, there are those who will be completely oblivious and ignore what they need to be aware of. So, if you would, Matthew 25, verse 41. Then the king will turn to those on the left, the goats, remember? And say, away with you, you cursed ones, into the eternal fire prepared for the devil and his demons. Guys, he is only going to say that to those who were truly wicked up unto the moment of judgment, guys. He has to punish those that do wrong. Plain and simple. You cannot be a loving God without punishing those who have earned it and rewarding those who deserve it. Isn't that what you do in a relationship? If your kids do wrong, do you give them an Xbox? Or do you punish them? If your kids do right, are you punishing them? Or giving them some kind of reward for positive behavior? Christ has to do that to us, guys. Just like a farmer when they're harvesting their fields, they have to separate the chaff from the wheat. Plain and simple. You're not going to sell the chaff at the market. You're going to sell the wheat at the market. Listen to this. Matthew 25, verse 42. For I was hungry, and you didn't feed me. I was thirsty, and you did not give me a drink. I was a stranger, and you didn't invite me into your home. I was naked, and you didn't give me clothing. I was sick and in prison, and you didn't visit me. Then they will reply, Lord, when did we ever see you hungry or thirsty or a stranger or naked or sick or in prison and not help you? Their wickedness will blind them from being able to see what's right in front of them. Plain and simple. Verse 45, and he will answer, I tell you the truth, when you refuse to help the least of these, my brothers and sisters, you are refusing to help me. And then they will go away into eternal punishment, but the righteous will go into eternal life. Guys, it's like any relationship that we go through. Let's be honest. It is like any relationship that we go through. We have a desire, most of us, to try to do what's right. But when you do what's wrong, there's got to be accountability for that. And in a relationship, that's what it is not only are you putting trust into that person, but you're also holding them in a way accountable for the things that they're doing and things that they've done. You know, if Christ has let us continue on sinning and not put up boundaries and say, yo, you really screwed up here. There's redemption, but you need to know that you screwed up here. And that's what he wants, is he wants us to acknowledge that there's a right way of doing things, there's a wrong way of doing things, and based on the intentions of your heart will determine where your faith lies and where your trust and faith lies. So, guys, when we are committed to a relationship with Christ, that is allowing us to prepare ourselves to handle relationships with other people. Because Christ first loved us while we were still a twinkle in our mother's eye, while we were still sinners, and even today. Christ didn't come to wipe the planet clean. Christ came back to finish the Father's work. God started creation, gave us all the ability to seek Him and His Son. Now Christ is going to be given full control over the end. And all He wants, truly wants, is a relationship with you so that He doesn't have to make the other call. He doesn't want to send you there, guys. He doesn't want to be separated from you for eternity. But you have to make the choice. You have to make the choice. Christ came to have a relationship with us. And His relationship is pretty awesome, actually. It's a struggle, but so is a relationship between parent and child, siblings, co-workers, friends, spouses. You know, when you commit yourself to a relationship with somebody, with your friends, yeah, you're probably not married and sharing a house with them, but you are committed to helping them out and vice versa. That's what Christ is asking for all of us, is to be that hand of hope, because he is hope. And if you expect to receive it, you must be willing to show it. So guys, remember, we aren't here to basically follow a set of rules. We are not here for that, guys. How boring would life be if all you ever did was focus on the rules instead of that moral compass that God puts in each and every single one of us? And that moral compass is what's going to guide us to helping those who were naked and needed clothing, those who were sick or in prison and needed to be visited, because these seek hope. Those who feel that they've got nothing wrong with them will never seek hope. So guys, the point of all this is to let you know that we don't serve a dictator. We serve someone who has been serving us since the very beginning of time, guys. He put us here. He gave us the ability to have things that can give us life and help us achieve a full and prosperous life. And all he asks for in return is to help out those who have less than you. Because then, and only then, can we truly understand and receive the reward that we are meant to have. Thanks for watching.